How's it going, guys? This is CRA Audits. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, please. We'll try to wait for some people to get into the chat before I start. Hey, Joe Q, how's it going? New microphone. Do I sound all right? Yeah, tonight I just want to go over a few videos that I got. I have the prison video that I want to go over with everybody on. There's probably a lot of details, a lot of people uh haven't seen yet or heard about yet, and probably people are interested into it. I'm just gonna go over some stuff over the my unlawful arrest I had in Allen County there at the prison. Uh, let's see here. Bear with me, guys. Also, I'm just learning this new system here. How's it going, Brandon? Oh, am I too loud? All right, I got 10 people in here now. Um, if anybody has any questions for me, possibly if they want to come onto the live stream here and maybe talk to me or whatever, I'm pretty open about anything. But let's go and go over this video that I got here of the prison there in Lima, Ohio. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right. All right. There we go. All right. So, hey, Gloria, how's it going? All right. Let's go over this video here. And I'm just going to go over some key points here. And I'm going to go over what they charged me with and what I'm facing yet. I'm still scheduled for trial March 30th, I believe. They had a continuance. The prosecutor did, I guess. I guess they scheduled another trial before that, so I have to wait. And for a lot of people that don't know, they took my equipment, so that's why I haven't been out filming or basically doing anything. Now I know some of you guys see me in the chats and stuff and other people's channels, and I'm still able to do that, but really putting out my own content I've been struggling because they took my all my equipment. So they won't give it back to me. They got all the video. The video's on my YouTube channel. They know who I am. They've already seen the video, but they refuse to give me back my iPhone. I don't understand it. I think they're just trying to make an example out of me, but uh, we'll see. My lawyers think that we have a pretty good case, so I'm just hoping for the best. And there's always that chance that I'm going to get found guilty. And I really don't see it, but it could happen. But hey, Wolverine, how's it going? But like I said, they charged me with this is what they originally charged me with. They charged me with 2 counts of criminal trespassing, one for the signs, I guess, that weren't there, and the other one was for the correction officers telling me that I had to leave several times. Now I have all the body cam videos. I'm not releasing any of that just yet. My lawyer's asking me to maybe hold on to that before till after the trial of the body cam videos of some of the statements that were wrote against me. But anyways, I was charged with 2 counts of criminal trespassing and failure to show ID. Well, I go to court that Friday, that next week. Well, the state troopers are standing there waiting on me. They hand me two more charges, resisting arrest and uh, uh, obstruction official business. And what I was thinking, the obstruction of official business, what they were saying is when I came onto that property and they locked those doors, they locked down the whole prison. So I stopped the operation of that prison. Now, remind you, I'm all on public property. If you go to Google Street View, right, Google Maps, you can go to where I was at all the way to their front door on Google Maps. So you can't tell me that I was on Sandra. I was in Ohio, Lima, Ohio. They're at the Allen Oakwood Correction Institution. But like I say, uh, you'll see. I'll kind of fast forward through some of the stuff because it is, I think, a half an hour video. Um, but we'll go through the video here, and I'm going to point out some key points. Now, like Wolverine, I thank you because that day that I got arrested, when I got home, when I was trying to figure out because I was locked out of everything. The only thing I wasn't locked out of was my Xbox on my on my TV. So I was basically watching you through my Xbox and I couldn't comment or anything. So I really want to appreciate it because what you said was, you know, I don't answer questions. Don't take your ID with you. You know, that way when they ask you for your ID, you're say, I don't have it. And then when they ask you, well, what's your name? Well, I don't answer questions. You know, that's what you have to do when you're going to do this kind of stuff. And like I say, I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning everything. You know, I try to do my best. I try to keep my cool. You know, but sometimes I don't know what it is. I my old lady says I'm an asshole, so maybe that's what it is. But I don't think I'm an asshole. I hope I'm not an asshole. I don't want to be an asshole. You know, I just I just wish things were different. But anyways, I'm just rambling here. Let's go through this video here, guys. All right. Right here we're out. Hey Gloria, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, we're going to go to the first sign here. I'm not smuggling anything in here, so now, if you guys notice all the way into this whole facility, right? I'm going to back up because I went too far. There was another sign, but there was another sign that was exactly like that. Now, if you guys watch here, over to the right here, there's a like a roadway going to the right here. Well, there is a memorial for fallen correction officers that died at this facility. Okay. Well, the people paid for that memorial. So you're saying that no one that's not from the correction facility is not allowed to visit that memorial? They had picnic tables and everything over there. And this is halfway down the road into the institution here. Let me remind you also, I have not seen one no trespassing sign yet. All right, we'll keep on going here. How does everything sound? It's kind of windy out here today. Sandra Jones, doesn't that sign indicate private property? Well, what sign are you talking about? When they're going into this, a private property sign would say private property. This is just telling you that I can't bring anything illegal into the institution and trying to like hand it over to the inmates or stuff like that. It's just telling me that if I got caught bringing drugs in, tobacco in, maybe a cell phone into the property, that they will, you know, arrest me, and I'll be charged with probably a felony, probably. Yes, there is, Sandra. There is signs with their names on it. I never got a chance to go over there. I was planning on going to that after I was coming back out, but never had the chance. But okay, there's that same sign talking about you can't bring in, tobacco, firearms, stuff like that. It's not saying anything about trespassing. It's not saying anything about no videotaping, no nothing. All right. I'm going to go up to the point where the correction officers come out. All right. Here we are. All right. This is the point where the correction officers come out.
How's it going? Oh, just taking some footage. I'm an independent journalist. Yes, I can. I already looked it up. This is a public area right here for visitors to come in. Anything accessible that's public, I can come and film. Anything that's restricted beyond that fence or your security in there, I cannot film. So just so you know, you guys are being live streamed right now. I understand that. It happens.
Now, he said, now you're filming an institution. Now, let's go back to what I was saying about Google Maps. They came all the way to that door right there. That building that they're standing in front of right here, they were right there. It's all right for Google Maps to come in there with a camera, but, a journalist like myself, I'm not allowed to go and take pictures. Like, come on. Now, I understand if they told me to leave. Now, if this correction officer at this moment told me that I needed to leave, I would have left. I'm just saying, I would totally left. But these people lied and told these officers. I got the 911 call. I got everything. It makes no sense because in the 911 call, they told the operator that they told me to leave several times. Now, this is the only interaction I had with the correction facility. The only interaction. So right there, when they called, they lied. They said that they told us several times to leave, right? They never did. All right, let's move on here. Now, they never talked to me again. They never talked to me again. Now, we'll get up here where the interaction comes into play here. All right. Here comes the state trooper. Big Wuss, I mean. He was way over here right by where the state trooper is. And at this point, I don't know what to expect because who knows? They could have just straight lied like they did, and now they're automatically thinking that I'm breaking the law, which I never did. If I'm breaking the law, if I'm standing here, this is public property. If I was in the restricted area, you see where that other vehicle is right over there? It's on the right, it's about in the middle of your screen there. It's a pickup truck. Right at that point right there, that's where it is restricted. I'm not allowed over on that drive because that's their perimeter drive. That's their, demarker line where they're saying that's their line. You can't pass this line. I never passed the line.
Trooper Chavez, what's your badge number? I walked over here, bud. I walked over here. Yes, I am. This is open to the public. We paid this. Right now, I'm live stream, bud. What's your name and badge number? Trooper Chavez, what's your badge number?
475, right?
475.
I really don't want to go down this route. There's a
Sir,
sign out
let's
there
just listen. Just listen to what we have to say.
Okay.
If this area right here is open to the public for visitors, listen. We are allowed to be here. Listen, we pay for this property here.
See right there, guys. He because I was trying to talk. What gives him the right to talk over me? Like I'm just trying to explain it. I'm trying to be nice about it. I wasn't even trying to be a dick about it. You know, I wanted to film his car. That's why I walked over there. You know, we're allowed to go over there and look. How's it going, Louis Garcia? How's it going? You know, it's the plain view doctrine. You know, if they can use it against us, we can use the same tactics. That's all I got to say about that. And anytime anybody says, oh, you can't look in my car, well, that's total crap. You can look into any car from a public viewpoint. Doesn't mean that, you know, I would. I wouldn't. You know, law enforcement, that's a different story. You know, I'll look into a police officer's, you know, vehicle. But let's move on here.
Our tax dollars pay for this property. We are not here for any kind of nefarious activity. You see that sign right there? Let's walk right over here. Look at this. Look at this sign right here, bud.
It says no trespassing
Right, that's right there.
There's signs posted all over it here.
That's for the grass area over here, not to come in here. So make sure call your supervisor now, please. Call your supervisor. Let's get out of the way, Wes. Step it up.
See, did you hear him step it up? Don't you think that's a little ridiculous? Now, you know, I'm not. Trooper Chavez should have did his job, right? He should have, you know, stayed with us, talked to us. You know, if he was asking us to leave at this point, we would have left off the property, right? But at this point, I felt that I had no need to give him any kind of identification. What law did I break? You know, at this point, though, I didn't know the correction officers lied. You always, you know, that's a valuable lesson that I learned, that, you know, people lie. People lie all the time. They can make it, you know, it's deceitful, you know. Trooper Chavez, he comes there thinking that we refuse the trespass, right, to leave from the trespass. What he should have did was told us that we were being detained, wait for his backup to arrive, went and did his investigation, right? And then at this point, you know, at least you did your investigation, your due diligence. He didn't even do any of that. He went straight to attack mode, right? And you can see it in his face. When he said, we have to step it up, right? I need my backup, step it up. I already knew I was fucked. But let's continue the video here.
We're a journalist. All we're here to do is take pictures. Please don't touch him. Do not touch him. Don't touch him. You have not the right to touch him. No, you put your hands on him. Do not touch him.
Please stop.
Any unwanted touching is an assault. Did I touch you?
Okay.
I want to talk to. We'll walk out here, but I want a supervisor here.
I just want to say one thing. Sandra Jones, I don't know who you are, but if you're one of Big Wes's supporters or one of those trolls, you know, I really don't understand what you're saying about the signs. There was no trespassing signs. Don't you know what read the criminal trespass statutes? I have several times. There has to be signs posted, you know, for one count. I forget which statute it is, but there's two types of criminal trespassing. There's a verbal where you came onto a property and they verbally told you to leave several times. That could be deemed as a criminal trespass. And there'd be other one with signs, signs that say no trespassing. You know, we pay for all this stuff. This is all ran by tax dollars. This is a state-ran facility here. Well, I hope you're not. I hope you're not a troll, Sandra, but I don't know.
I want a supervisor here.
We don't have one working right now.
Well, that's not my fault.
Okay.
You're not violating my rights. This is a First Amendment right. We are allowed to be press.
I'm telling you right now, you're not allowed to be on the
Okay, we're not.
Permission from the.
We're not. Look at any auditor that's gone to a. I don't need permission.
Yes, you do.
No, I.
Hey, Sandra, I apologize if I misread a comment or something. You know, if you're not a troll, you're not a troll. I apologize. I'm not trying to make anybody angry or anything. I just maybe misunderstood what you were saying in the message.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
Prove it to me.
Sir,
Prove it to me, because I could prove case law that says I'm allowed to be here. I can show you case law.
there's signs right here posted.
That is for that field there.
It's
There.
for the whole prison
No,
grounds.
no, it's not. The gate right up here.
You want me to get the prison captain out here so you can talk?
That
to him
means
right now?
nothing. Their rules and policy has nothing to do with the law-abiding citizen. I am not under their authority right now. I am not
So,
under their
what
authority.
authority is that?
Myself, I did not break any laws.
Sir, yes, you are. So
How am I breaking the laws? Tell me how am I breaking the law?
Let me get your job.
I'm not giving you my ID.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
Yes,
not.
you are.
No, I'm not.
So
No, I am not. They never asked me to leave. They never once asked me.
And right there, that's where I should have used that Wolverine technique that Wolverine was saying I should have been using. And you know, he's right. That's how I should have approached it. It's all about verbalizing what you want over. You know, if that takes me to practice, it takes practice. You know, sometimes when I'm under that kind of adrenaline, sometimes you don't think about it. You know, it's always after the point you're like, damn it, I should have said that. You know, but let's move on.
To
called
leave.
us here.
That doesn't matter. They have to ask me to leave
No, they
before.
don't.
Yes, they do.
This is state property.
Yes, they do.
This is state
Guys,
property. Can I have your
start.
license and registration?
Nope. Start calling the State Highway Patrol barracks here in Allen County. We have a tyrant out here, Chavez, badge number 475. We never went onto any restricted areas.
Your driver's license, please.
You're not getting it, bud.
What happened to my driver's license?
We didn't break any laws here.
Yeah, this is trespass.
Call your supervisor. Call the supervisor. Do you even have authority here?
Yes, we have authority.
Does the sheriff's department or do you? No, I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you.
All right, I'm gonna have you walk to the front of my vehicle over
Don't touch me.
here. Sir,
Don't touch me. Let's get this.
sir.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Does a law enforcement officer have the right to touch you? You know, I wasn't going to try to touch him. You know, what gives him the authority when I'm not breaking any laws? Remember, we pay for that property. No one asked me to leave. There is no signs. What the heck? What's going on here? I'm just trying to figure it out here, guys. Why he's allowed to touch me? Let me go and try to touch him. You know, what's the deal? You know, he's allowed to touch me, I guess. So, but he's allowed to touch me, I guess. All right.
Asked you plenty of times.
Why are you touching me?
Failure to identify. Sir.
Failure to identify?
Yes, come on.
Do you want to lose your job?
That's
Do you want to lose your job? Guys, I'm getting attacked.
Now, okay, that's what sucks because when he jerked me like that, my phone automatically quit recording, and then Big Wuss's phone was catching all this stuff afterward, right? And now Big Wuss, he deleted all his videos as now, you know, after all these fraudsters that they call us, which makes no sense. I don't get it. You know, he says all the stuff that was caused from this prison, well, with him getting arrested and stuff, I did it to him, right? He could have showed his ID. You know, I wanted to judge him. Yeah, you saw me get tackled. At this point, you're like, oh God, I'm going to make sure that if I don't show him my ID, maybe I'm going to go to jail. With a threat of arrest, I'll show you my ID under a threat of arrest. I wasn't even given that opportunity. I didn't even know I was detained. You know, what? I guess they don't have to tell you anymore. I don't understand it. I guess they don't have to tell you that you're under arrest or you're being detained or anything like that. For all I knew, it was consensual. You know, I you know, I, if he told me to leave, I was going to leave. You know, once again, the state troopers said I could leave, but he needed my ID first, right? Well, why do you need my ID? I was never told prior from you telling me to leave to leave. So at this, why would I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out in March here when I go to trial. You know, that's what juries are for. You know, it just sucks because this whole time, like I said, I'm without my iPhone and, you know, my equipment, which, you know, and a lot of people didn't know what happened. They had no clue what happened to me. They might have seen me in a few of the chats, but other than that, they probably didn't, you know, really know what happened to me. But I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. I'm willing to answer basically anything, you know. Maybe I'll put up the stream chat thing here if anybody wants to join me. Possibly, maybe we could talk. I don't care, you know. Maybe we could all. Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I'm all new to all this. Just give me a second here. This is all brand new stuff to me. All right, maybe this will work here. Maybe hopefully that's hold on, Sandra. I'm trying to read the chats here. I'm sorry. I'm so far behind on chats here. Like I said, this is my very first time ever doing anything like this, so I'm still learning. So please bear with me, guys. But like I said, guys, I don't know if you've seen the video before all this. I don't know. What do you think about it? You know, I really don't think that I was breaking the law. Uh, I'm hoping, you know, I get found not guilty. But like I said, anything can happen. Uh, my lawyers want to possibly, we are subpoenaing everybody that was involved, everybody that wrote a statement against me. You know, anybody that wrote a statement, period, is getting subpoenaed. And it's going to have to show up in that trial, you know, and you know everybody's statement says that they said that we had to leave several times. You know, that right in the statement say that, you know, they were told repeatedly they had to leave. I, you know, that's new to me. I never heard them. I never seen them, you know, tell me that I had to leave, you know. But what's going on here? Why is that not paste? There we go. If anybody else want to come up on the StreamYard, possibly, you know. Thank you, Gloria. I don't see anything wrong neither what I did. Not the right link, bro. Oh. Which link are you talking about, Wolverine? Sandra, that sign that you're talking about, right? There was the exact same. There was a double sign. There was a sign just like that. It was like a twin sign. It was the exact same sign. When you're first coming into the institution on that drive, there's like that exact same sign, maybe 15 feet right into that drive, and then once you get about I don't know, halfway more than that down the drive, which the drive was almost probably a half mile. Once you got down there, to the right was the memorial, and then right after the memorial, there was that sign once again, which it wasn't no trespassing sign. It was just stating that I couldn't take illegal things into the prison, like guns, drugs, alcohol, a firearm, stuff like that. I never took. But all right, let's see. How's it going, James? Good to see you. Good to see you. But I was gonna play a couple different videos here and maybe go over a few videos. Is there any videos that hold on? The link that you put in is an old link in the past live stream. Oh, okay, hold on. No. Okay, here it is. What's going on here? Hold on. All right, maybe that's the new link there, hopefully. I'm still learning, so. But I just want everybody to know that I've been doing good. I just wish I've been more active on my page because, I really feel that, what we're doing has a purpose. And, it's about education. And, I want to get better at it. I really do. But also, I have a family, I have a private life. And, it doesn't look good when you get slammed to the ground 2 times in 1 year, you know. Uh, so, that's a thing to think about. I won't go out as much as I used to, but I still want to be out there. I want to be, part of this movement, because it is a movement, the First Amendment movement, you know. But also, there's a lot of corruption in Ohio. Let me tell you, I bet there's a lot of corruption all over the place, but Ohio's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Okay, hold on. I see. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, Wolverine, how's it going?
What's going on, man?
Pretty good. How are you been?
Pretty good, pretty good. I just want to tell everybody, first and foremost, I was watching both of these live streams live, and I pretty much got the whiff of where you guys went wrong and what was said, because I did a live stream on it, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you got to understand the first sign that you seen, okay? It was telling you basically if you have specific things on you, and that they're, and then that small red sign, that was a warning sign, and it's the demarcation line right there. Okay, if you go onto that property, you are subject to search and seizure. Therefore, when he did ask you for your driver's license,
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna say. You understand what I'm saying? So that is what they're going on. Now, if there's an Ohio compiled law on that sign, you need to know if that's a lawful sign. All right? Because where lawful search and seizure becomes in a demarcation line on state property is where usually it's inside the building, or to be able to walk up to somebody and say, okay, spread them. All right. That's basically what it comes down to. And they can search you and they can identify you according to that sign. All right. So if you're, I don't think that sign was placed correctly where it needed to be. Now in the parking lot, that is state property. It is a correctional facility, and security, they can justify specific security. But the question is, what made the officer think that you couldn't be there? Okay. That is the question, and that's where you can win the case, because you could be there. It is, and he didn't quote the Ohio statute that that secondary obstruction. You understand?
Yeah.
First, he's got to have some type of suspicion, and you got to be told to leave, right?
Yeah.
And they have to have a actual crime or some type of directive policy, which is constitutional law, right? That was written from administrative rules that your Ohio legislators wrote into an administrative rule for that institution, because it is ran by the state. So that is what you need to read, in my opinion. And then secondly, you already stated what was a fact. You went too far as you talked too much.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You gave him way too much authority over you. All right. So and so did old boy. He didn't know what to do. One minute he's denying it, the next minute he's kissing his ass, the next minute he's crying like a little bitch. So I didn't.
That was the worst backup or worst person I could have went on an audit with, and
you were protecting him too, and that's the sad part about it. It is. Yeah. I'm really disappointed in him. I'm not calling him out his name, or I'm not saying that he's a bad person. Okay, I'm just saying that. I mean, let me add. Did you write a statement against you? It's going around.
He didn't write a statement. The officer wrote because he didn't remain silent. You see what I'm saying? He was talking, and everything that he verbalized, the officer basically wrote down on the complaint. He didn't physically write anything, no, but he sure was talking on body cam and everything. Yeah. You got the right to remain silent. Anything that you can say will be used against you. Okay. And,
So Sandra Jones, I just wanted to say that there is nothing on that sign. With all due respect, there's nothing on that sign that says that it was private property.
Now,
and I read it. I went back and read it on the sign that he showed us.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now there is farm fields that the state owns all around the facility right there, right? Yeah. Now, on the perimeter of the fields, there is no trespassing signs, but that's not for the main entrance of the facility.
Well, that's the entrance that you was going in, right? That you was recording.
Yeah, that's the main entrance. Now, that's what those officers were going off of, was those signs. And I was trying to explain to them that those weren't the signs for where I'm at. Just like the basic, like this is kindergarten stuff. Where does a sign begin? Does it begin where you can see it, or does it begin after the sign? And it's just like a speed limit sign. That speed limit, when it says 55, it's not 55 until past that sign. It's the same thing.
Yeah. I got you.
Because the building did say no photographs. But
I don't mean none. That's on the inside, and that's more for them, the people that actually signed to the policies. Yeah. If you actually were on that property, listen very closely what I'm saying to you. So basically, if you knew an inmate inside that facility, all right, and he puts you on the visiting list, when you come up, you sign your Fourth Amendment rights away. and now you're subject to their policies. You hear me?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a library card. If you have a library card, you're subject to that policy now. You sign your rights away,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So you automatically. So I'm assuming that you're not on the visiting list, right?
No, I'm not.
That photography don't apply to you. Now, the being where you was, time, place, and manner. It was the middle of the day. You stuck out like a sore thumb. They knew right who to come to. So it's not like you were hiding or showing any type of behavior that would have caused any type of suspicion that you were doing something wrong, because you had a camera in your hand. And I don't know too many criminals that record themselves committing crime, so or have the intent to commit a crime while recording themselves. So I just say that. And Sandra, I if you go, honey, I'm not picking on you. Okay, here, let me. If you go back and listen to what I said to you, I said with all due respect. Did you hear the first statement? So you might want to calm down and take a chill pill, because there ain't nobody attacking you. It's just that when you make assertions, because you said what you said, I'm going to apply what needs to be said to you, because you made the assertion that there is a private property. You made the assertion that there was private property on that sign, and it wasn't. So you did that to yourself. I'm surprised that other people didn't, cut into you and say, "What are you talking about?" or ask you the question. I was very respectful. You've seen, I showed you, and I replied to you respectful. Now you're speaking in a derogatory, and you're basically cussing at me. So you might want to change your attitude, because I'm not doing nothing to you. All right, moving on. Your brother, what you did in that video is you already said in the beginning about the ID. You know about that.
Yeah.
What you need to do is find out where at on that property is the demarcation line for them to search you, where you automatically give up your Fourth Amendment right. All right. So that's what I would do if I was you. Find out what statute that sign was written under, because there's got to be an Ohio revised law on that. All right.
And I haven't been able to find anything. So
all right then. So if the legislature, listen to me very close. If the legislator didn't write it, what you ask is whoever is holding you to that premise, you get them on the stand and you ask them, are you a legislator? Are you a duly elected legislator? Okay, now show me in the legislature. They're going to say no, of course. And judge, are you a legislator? He's going to say no. There you go. So you got it on the record that he cannot make up arbitrary issues with that sign. Yep. So now you go with what you read and go there. Trust me, my line of questioning for these police officers and what I got going on in Taylor, they're going to wish they never seen me at all. They're going to wish they left this fat effer alone. I'm going to tell you that right now, because they are big time arbitrary. And that is an arbitrary sign, in my opinion, if you can't find Ohio revised law on that, compiled law, excuse me.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this part neither, but when we went back to the barracks when they arrested us, right, I was waiting on the sergeant to arrive, and he finally came, and I told him what we were doing, and he's like, "Oh, I know who you are. I'm from Findlay, where you're from, and I seen some of your videos, so I already know what you're about." And he's like, "The issues is there are signs saying that you couldn't be there." And I was like, "No, there was no signs." And he's like, "Listen, you guys are going to jail. The prosecutor wants you guys to go to jail. You guys are going to jail."
Where
right?
does it? Hold on. Where did it say that you couldn't be?
Well, see, and that's where I'm getting at.
Because I didn't read that on there. I read the do's and the don'ts and what you bring into the facility.
Yeah,
and then it said you're subject to that search inside the facility. So that's what I read.
He ended up sending back out Chavez, I think, back out to the prison to take pictures of all the signs coming into the prison there. And once he did that and got all the statements, he called the sergeant. Now on body camera, you don't see it, but you can hear it. He's in the background talking to him, and he's like, "What was there signs posted or whatever that they couldn't be there?" And he's like, "Do what? There wasn't?" He's like, "Oh man." And this is all you could hear. And then next thing I know, he's calling the prosecutor. And next thing I know, they're telling us that they're going to release us with a summons or a ticket to go to court, but they're going to seize our phones. So now they're taking our phone. Now, after talking to the lawyers and talking to everybody, right? They're just trying to make an example out of me. That's the only reason that they want my phone. They don't even have anything on it to even take. They just keeping it because they can.
Do they still have it?
Yeah.
Did they get a warrant for it?
No.
Okay.
They're just holding it for evidence.
All right. So you didn't see, according to what they said that you did, nobody ever told you to leave. All right.
Yep.
So police officer can't come up and say, all right, I'm going to do a half of trespass here. All right. I'm going to ask you to leave when the other half hasn't been committed in his presence yet. They have to tell him in front of you, okay, to leave. Okay. And they don't need a reason according to their standards in Ohio. Okay. So when that officer told you to leave, that is where you said, okay, under threat of arrest, I'll leave. But I don't think that I have to. Are you going to arrest me if I don't leave? And if he says, yeah, that's when you go. This is where we, as journalists and photographers, etc., auditors, really need to start putting the paperwork in. Go down and file a complaint on him. File a complaint on that, and then win, and then so they'll know that you're not pushing them, because I've learned some things too that I try to go by the rules, and the rules only work when we come back and did a mass audit on Taylor, you see, and that's when the rules work. But that if you see how Sergeant Reagan, which is now a lieutenant, he was previously just recently promoted to a lieutenant, and I could see why, because he actually followed his oath. And I think so far in command, that is the only cop in command in that whole police department that I've met, that I've talked to so far, that has honored his oath. The rest of them are disloyal, dishonest. They use their corrosive tactics to gaslight you and intimidate you, and they're so ignorant with their words. That's why the last time I went up in there, the chief didn't say nothing, because he knows everything he say can and will be used against him in a court of law.
Yep.
He knows I'm taking him to the Sixth Circuit. He knows that his sergeant went past the demarcation line, okay, where they set up on private property and come and pushed me right in front of him. That's what makes him a tyrant. That's what makes him, he allowed that guy to violate my rights, and then justified it 5 minutes later and said, well, Adam, I love you. I love you. I love your attitude. I'm like, really? So why did you let that happen? He's like, well, some people just get mad and they get upset. And wow, so you get mad, you get upset, and now you want to expand a crime scene and make it more difficult for the officers around you because you're butthurt about me calling you out?
Yeah, that was total crap. I watched that video. I seen it. That's total crap.
And what they did to you is they basically trapped you because of a lack of you observing what you should observe. You know what I'm talking about. Yep. It's a learning situation. And I say this to all guys that are going out recording. Please understand, wherever you're at, read your law. Read the trespassing law. Read the harassment law. Read the disturbing the peace law. Read all that and understand that officers cannot be victims of some of these crimes. Okay?
Well, see, I don't know if you know this, Wolverine, but Ohio has some weird trespassing laws, right? You can be
See?
trespassed from public property as long as the custodian of that property told you to leave. Now, you don't have to break the law or anything, so they can discriminate
Who
against
told
you.
you that?
It's in the law. It's right
All
in
right.
the statute. Like they don't.
Can you pull that statute up and let's read it? Will
Yeah,
you
let me
please?
let me let me.
Since you brought it up, let's read it together. I'm
right.
really curious because I think it's the same everywhere. If you're on your property that you pay taxes for, you live in that state, correct?
Yeah, I live in Ohio.
You're a taxpayer.
Let's see here.
See, you got to talk their language when you speak to them. Sitting here, preaching to the public, that ain't gonna do us. Or preaching to the choir ain't doing us really no good. But sitting here, it ain't getting individual. You're getting individual change and not change in the real deal. So, let's see where you're at.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see where.
Let me read the whole thing.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
you go back? All right.
Yep.
All right. So April 12th, 2021, latest legislation, Senate Bill 33, downloaded. All right. No person without privilege to do so shall do any of the following: knowingly enter or remain on a land or premises of another. Knowingly enter or remain on land or premises of another that used which of the lawful restricted to certain persons, purposes, or modes. So time, place, and manner does apply to that. And okay, let's see. When the officers know that the offender is in violation of this such restriction or is reckless in regard. So that that sign that you remember, the sign that you read, that was to your right when you first came in, and the other sign that was further up past that other demarcation sign that says nobody's allowed there, right?
Oh, the where
the
the
further one,
the restricted one where it veers off right there. Yeah, that said restricted.
See, that is what they're holding you to. All right, and you need to take really good pictures of that, and you show that with the video. Say, this is what this sign says, and this is what this sign says. You're going to have to tell a jury the difference between them signs, and because they're both demarcation parts. So, because of the officer in his lack of discretion using the law to fit what really happened, is the only time that they can ID you is when they have reasonable articulable suspicion that you commit a crime, Terry versus Ohio. So they didn't show probable cause because you didn't pass that one point. Nobody's seen you past that point, right? There's no written statement in that, correct? That you went past that specific point of that area.
Yeah. I never went past that area.
No, I'm talking about they never seen you, right?
Oh yeah, they never seen me.
Right.
No.
So how is he going off? It doesn't. It says they have a right to search you, not ID you, right? And that's for weapons and other
weapons.
things,
Yeah,
okay?
weapons to make sure I didn't have any.
All right. You lose some Fourth Amendment rights when you pass that. Okay,
and I did see that. So.
Yeah, but you didn't have. All they're supposed to do is a Terry frisk on you.
Yeah,
that's it.
Check me for guns and weapons.
That's it. Not for ID, for ID, because you were still in publicly accessible area.
And that's what I told my lawyer. I was like, if he just asked me to frisk me for weapons and whatnot, I would have totally allowed it. I read that sign. I understood this sign. When I came onto that public area of that property. So.
Yeah. Go further down. Let's see. All right, number 4. Or where was we?
Number 4.
All right. I gotta read. 4. All right. Let's see. Being on the land or premises of another, negligently fail to refuse or leave upon being notified by signage posted or conspicuous place, or otherwise being notified to do so by owner or occupant. And we did not see that in the video. I know that for a fact. It didn't tell
Yep.
you to leave.
They
It
never
was-
told
it
me
was-
to
It
leave.
was telling you to stop recording.
Yeah.
Okay. It was telling you wasn't allowed inside the facility to record. I remember that.
Now,
specifically.
let me say a point to this, and I told this to the lawyer too. When I go out filming, you know how many times I hear, you can't film me, you
Yeah.
can't film this, so what weight does that carry when they tell me I can't film there,
And they conflate that with well, you can't, right? They conflate that with the other crap, that it automatically goes into the derogatory that you don't belong. Therefore, they conflate that with, hey, I told them to leave.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're liars. They're good. That's what criminals do. They continue to lie, and
Yeah.
that's why we don't. That's why we're out there showing their criminality. Go ahead. Let's
All
see.
right.
All right. Notified us. All right. So in 5, knowingly enter or remain in a critical infrastructure facility. Nope, you wasn't in it, so that don't apply to you. All right. It it is no defense to a charge under this section that is a land or permissions involved has owned, controlled, or custody of the public agency. Let me see. Let me read it. It is no defense to a charge under this section that the land or premises involved was owned, controlled, or custody of the public agency. No, that don't apply to you. Go down. See, it is no defense to charge under section if the offender was authorized to enter and remain on the land and the premises involved when such authorization was secured by deception. Okay, that's common sense. All right, go ahead. D, whoever violates this section is guilty of criminal trespass. Criminal trespass is in violation of division A 1, 2, 3, or 4. This section is a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. A criminal trespass in violation of division A5 of this section is misdemeanor of the 1st degree. Notwithstanding section 2929.828 of the revised code, if the person is committing the violation of the section used as a snowmobile, yeah, keep going, keep going. That don't apply to you. Let's go to 3. Under previous have been convicted of pled guilty to 2 or more violations of this section. Nope, that ain't you, right?
Nope.
You never been charged for trespassing?
Just a regular trespass from the public library.
But
that's
have
not-
you been charged with it? Have you been convicted of it?
No.
Keep going, keep going. All right. Notwithstanding a revised code, the offender committing the violation of this section used all-purpose vehicles or clerk out of the court shall pay. No, you're good. There's more. Okay. As used in this section, all-purpose vehicle off. Okay, that's not you. Land permissions include land, building, structure, or place belonging to, controlled by, or custody other than separate, enclosed, or room or portion thereof. Okay, it's just defining different spaces on the land. Will paid have been same meaning as section. Okay, critical infrastructure means one of the following: it completely enclosed. You see that? If completely enclosed by fence or other physical barrier that is obviously designed to exclude intruders, or if clearly marked as signs that is reasonably like to attend the potential intruders that indicate it is forbidden without authorization. A petroleum or a refinery, electric. No, none of that applies to you. Chemical, water, keep going. None of that applies to you. Nope, keep going. Nope. Nope. Facility identified and regulated United States Post. Nope. Federal government. Hold up, let me see that one.
Which one?
Oil, crude. No, keep going. The video service network, broadband infrastructure, including associated building facilities, video headed service to our calls. Blah, 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 blah. Nope. Keep going. Nope. All right, hold up. Any railroad property, electronic? Nope. Is that it?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay, so you under that you was not trespassing because all right. Let's pretend that you were. All right. Let's say to legally trespass you in a state of Ohio, an officer has to see you be trespassed. If it's accessible to the public, okay, which that parking lot is a visitor parking lot. I know that for a fact because I seen it. When you got up there, it says visitors.
Yep.
All right, so that's where visitors go in, and they take care of their business. And you did you go inside there for a minute?
No, I never had an opportunity.
Did
They
you
locked the
record?
doors.
You did record though, right?
Yeah, I did record.
I thought I seen some patlets on the wall.
Some padlocks, like lockers.
No,
type of thing?
patlets for the public. Did
Oh,
you
like
see
public information?
some- Yes,
Now I could go back and look, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think you should because I think I seen something with some. If there's one, that's all it takes. Because
Now this is what I told. This is what I told that sergeant, and this is what I told my lawyer also. If I wanted to go there to do a public information about the prison, like how much they spent on that memorial that's out front there, that's all public information that I would be able to FOIA right there at that building right there. You know, that's the public area for, I don't have to do it in person. Online. I could do it in person while I'm there. If
Yeah.
there's somebody working that desk, they could take my FOIA request,
Yeah.
That's that makes it public,
But
Once
then
you-
again, that silence is deadly because if you don't tell them nothing, they don't
Yeah.
know to go on. So if you don't go up there with an ID, excuse me, and if you go up there, telling them you don't answer questions and stick to the normal script of not breaking the laws at
Yeah.
all, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're confident that you didn't break the laws. Okay, that confidence doesn't play out because you're not breaking laws, and they gaslight you into it because now he's got you trapped because you had a back and forth about IDing, and so did he. Oh boy said I wanted to leave, but he detained me, and blah 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 blah, and then he turned around and said, "Here's my ID." No, it's too late. You're going. Well, whatever. So they played him like a violin. So, this is a good learning video for people. What look, man, we all make mistakes, we all say things, and that could be held against you. Just remember that you did not trespass because look at a full trespass.
Yep.
Go to the administrative order, find the administrative order that when they wrote that, find the bill that passed and read it,
Yeah.
the original.
Well, you want to hear something messed up? So the last time I had a pre-trial thing where they're basically trying to get me to cop out to the charges, right? Well, the one time prior, like the second time they offered or whatever, they offered what they charged Big West was with one count of criminal trespassing, and that's it. I'd pay a fine and it'd be over with. And I said, no, I'm going to take it to trial. I didn't break any laws, why should I cop out to that?
Right.
Well, the last time I went to the pretrial thing, they offered me something else. They offered me a way worse deal. They offered me, I had to plead out to the obstruction, the criminal trespassing, and do a year of probation. And I just laughed and said, like, what are you guys thinking here? Because honestly,
You want to hear it? I'm going to tell you what they were thinking. The bootlickers automatically think, well, hey, I'm going to do you a favor. You take this, you can pay the fine. You don't refuse it. Oh, we're going to just add and pile on. Okay, here you go, and here's a couple more for you. Here, I'm going to amend some charges. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they did it to me. But as far as what I see, I've done nothing wrong to everything that I said was free speech that I said.
Yeah.
And what you did was, again, that trespass, to be legally trespassed, a custodian of the property must come up and tell you, I I want you to leave. And if you don't, then they call the police, and then it's got to be done in the presence of the police officer. And then if you don't, then he gets your ID and criminally trespass you and give you a pink slip. And then if you don't leave, then he arrests you.
Hold on one second. Can I ask you guys how to do something real quick? How do you give somebody a monitor?
Open your phone, right?
You have to do it through the phone.
Yeah, you got your phone, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it on the desktop, but I got my phone.
Well,
right here.
you can, yeah. If you got another window open, you could do it on your desktop too as well. But if you got a phone, it's a lot easier. You just do it on a phone.
Yeah.
You just go and hit the person's name and press on, and it said add moderator.
All right, hold on.
The person's name. I'll tell you, it'd be a good moderator for you. Is Gloria AD. She's honorable. She's trustworthy. She's a good person. I speak to her a lot. James is also a good guy.
Yeah,
he's a mod of mine too.
I just made one for James, and I'm going to do one for Gloria. Do you want one also?
Well, I mean, if you want to get out, it doesn't matter to me. You know, I usually give auditors that I know passes or wrenches because they could put stuff in there to help the channel or the information, because they have the information. All they got to do is just put it in there, and people can click on it, or I can click on it, and then I'll go straight to it and bring it up. You know, that's for information purposes.
Well, since, like I said, I don't have my camera right now, so I figure I could at least do this right now. I finally got a microphone and stuff that I would need to be able to do something like this, and
there you go.
I'm going to try to, do something similar. I'm going to still go out and do audits, and I'm going to probably critique my own stuff because I'm trying to get better at it. Yeah. I don't want to be slammed to the ground every time. No one wants.
So you might want to see area audits. You might want to give a narrative right now on what you expect your mods to do, because you, in my opinion, if somebody, this is what I go by. Okay, and you do what you want with your channel, but when I let people to say whatever they want, I got trolls that come in and because I ignore them, they leave. You know what I mean? So as long as they're not attacking another person, okay, as long as they're not constantly attacking people in your mod or the mods, you know what I'm saying? I would say time them out, but don't hide them. Don't let nobody. And if you do hide them every week, cut it. Clear it out, because it's just not good to have a bunch of people hidden all the time. A troll needs oxygen.
Yeah. Now, I am a First Amendment auditor, and this is a First Amendment channel. So I would just try to tell my monitors to, if there's people spamming or people trying to do harm or whatever, do what you got to do, because sometimes I don't have a chance to see it. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out the monitors and everything. So I might not see it right away. So, that's why I need these guys to kind of patrol the chats, basically, make sure there's no one spamming or putting hateful things in the chat, like hateful, like hate stuff, because I'm not down for that stuff. So we need to all get along, just because, just like Big Wes, I don't agree with him. Yeah. I might, I shake my head every time he puts out a live or whatever, because it's total crap, but he has his rights to his own opinion.
He does. And later on down in life, he's going to say, well, it's either you get a conscience. See, a lot of people are just on, you got to look, I'm not anti-cop. Yeah. Are you anti-cop?
No, never. Okay.
So I believe that they're necessary. I believe that cops are badly needed, really badly needed good cops are really badly needed because there's too many bad cops.
Well,
right?
see, and what I'm thinking about the training, right? Law enforcement officer needs to be in training for 2 years before they can work for somebody. And the first year and a half is basically learning the law, right? And then the last 6 months would be the regular training that they would receive right now. You know,
What difference does it make if you got a commander that's telling you, "Well, I need you to go out here and sit and break 4 laws while enforcing the
well,
law"?
you
Okay,
make a good point about
you
that,
know,
and hopefully it just time will weed it out because these guys are retiring. The new training people that might receive will take over those corrupt cops, hopefully. But there's corruption in everything. There really is. It's just human nature, I think. I really think it is.
yeah.
I
And you've heard me say that. I know you have.
yeah,
I think everybody's a tyrant, but the difference is you and I didn't sign a code of conduct, and you don't pay me, and I didn't swear an oath to the Constitution that I would honor that code of conduct. So yeah, they can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned, as far as holding me to anything. But as far as me being a decent human being, that a police officer would give me my respect while he thinks he's doing his job. I will stay like the other day. I did a small live stream or a small audit up there at Trenton Police Department, and I know the lieutenant. I was up there. Me and Broken was up there before, and he was cool. They was wondering what we were doing out there in the back, and they didn't trip, right?
yeah.
And then this time I come, I got a sergeant that comes out, and I was just explaining what he was doing because obviously it was obvious to me that when somebody gets in a car in the cold and you could start it and it's rubbing hot, what's that mean? That car hasn't been driven. So obviously he's just getting on and he's doing his pre-trip. And I was explaining what he was doing so that people won't think that he was going to provoke me because I knew his lights and siren was going to go on. And I didn't want my subscribers thinking that this guy was provoking me, right? And as I did that, he was done. And when he got done, he got out. He says, "Don't you got anything else better to do?" In the derogatory. And I'm like, really? Why are you talking to me like that?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here explaining to my subscribers that you seem like a decent cop. You come out here, you're doing your job. You're not tripping on me. You didn't give me no unlawful directive. So I'm thinking that you're one of the good guys, right? And you turn around and you ruin it with that statement.
You just never know.
It's disdain and disrespect.
Yeah.
Now, what if that happened 10 years ago? Would I've got my teeth kicked in? You know what I'm saying? Before George Floyd. What would he have done with that? And what if he was black down there in that white city? I don't like the race bait. I hate race baiters, but I see this type of behavior in these type of small hick towns where, I don't see no problem with Trenton, to be honest with you, but it's stuff like that escalates.
See,
Okay?
I'm not, when I was growing up, I lived in a small Ohio town. I didn't live where I'm living now. But, I thought I was a badass. I was out there doing, stuff, and I broke the law and I ran from the cops. Well, when I ran from the cops, when they caught up to me, they tackled me. And the one guy came up behind me and hit me in the back of the head with his pistol, knocked me out. This was when I was about 19 years old. And I ended up doing some time for it, but it was just a standard thing back in the day. They could just do that kind of stuff and get away with it. And now since people have cameras and, we're asking for accountability here, we want justice. That's not right for them to do stuff like that. Just because you piss them off, right, doesn't give them the right to hurt you. They have to act professional. I'm not saying if you're swinging and resisting, they don't have the right to put you on the ground if they had a lawful reason to do so. But for them to do the excess stuff like neck pressure and kicking you in the ribs and punching you in the face, that's total crap.
Okay. While not in the commission of a crime, a lot of these cops get butthurt, right? They get butthurt, and then they start abusing their authority and criminalizing their behavior. And while they're doing that, what I've seen is it escalates instead of de-escalating and leaving. They exploit their supremacy, and they misuse and violate Title 18, Section 242. And sometimes they do it in conspiracy because another cop will come up and agree, and he'll watch him arrest you, and you're sitting there saying, "Hey, sir, why don't you go back on my live stream right now and rewind and look at my exculpatory evidence." Always do that. That's another teaching point. Always do that to the cops so you can hold him accountable too, so you can take his qualified immunity as well.
Yeah.
Because when they witness another cop arrest you, they are under assumption this cop is right. So if you give them a chance to give them exculpatory evidence that you are not, then you can get him to even call a supervisor if he's not willing to. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because it happens all the time. But go ahead.
No, it's just, you got to know the laws. You got to know what you're talking about. If not, it ends up in situations like me. Like I got slammed in Findlay, Ohio. That's what started this whole thing. I don't know if you know my story or not, Wolvie, but like I never thought I was ever going to do what I do. It was only when the city of Findlay, Ohio put out a false warrant for my arrest over city taxes that I never even lived here, saying that I owed them money. And, I guess they put a warrant out for me. I guess they were sending me notices that I never got. Well, it ended up in an arrestable moment where they arrested me in Lima, Ohio, because that's where I was living at the time. And I was on my way to work because I was a warehouse manager at this place down in Sydney, Ohio. I'm making good money. I'm working salary job here. I'm a manager, and they arrest me. They wouldn't let me get my phone to call my boss to tell him what's going on. So my shift was unattended. So the next day when I finally got to work, they fired me on the spot for a no call, no show. They said I lead by the example, right? Well, then that Friday, this was like a Wednesday or something. That Friday, when I went to that court thing over the warrant, they didn't even take me into the courtroom. They said, "Oh my God, we screwed up. You don't owe us any money. We're sorry for putting that warrant out for you." Yeah. And I was like, "Do you guys realize what you guys just did to my life? I just got fired from my job. I got bills. I got a house payment, and they didn't give two craps about it. Right. Wow. And then I sat back and I was watching these videos about, holding government officials accountable. And I was reading the local newspaper here and I saw them that they violated this kid's right for in a parking lot talking to his buddies. Like, I'm not going to get into that story, but anyways, I went down there with my phone and my camera, and I went through the securities there at the municipal building. They knew I was there. I went into the tax department. They, told me to leave. I think they hit the panic button. They came out. The police officer said I was in my right to be there filming. And then only till I went out back to film their vehicles did they have a problem with it. And that's when they said I walked out in the street. When they surrounded me, they forced me out into the street.
Oh, you're talking about that one where MCC went down there with you?
Yeah, MCC. Yeah, he helped me out a lot on that.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
He really is, and I hope to be able to do some work with him in the future. I just need my phone back. I had a brand new iPhone 13 Pro Max. I saved up for that phone to be able to do what I do, right? And now they took it, and now everybody's like, "Well, why don't you just go and get another one?" Well, I don't have the monies for that kind of stuff. I'm just like everybody else. I work Monday through Friday, and basically I have a family, so my bills are covered. We might have some extras to go out to eat or whatever, but I just don't have money to flop down another $1,200 on a new phone. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When I have a perfectly good one sitting right there, So I don't know. It's part, I guess, me being bullheaded. I guess
It comes
I
it comes with the territory. And again, I strongly advise everybody to read what you are doing. And
Yep.
do it, and that way that you have the narrative to fall back on. And the narrative is that here's what the directive policy. Remember, when I say directive policy, this is constitutional law. Operating standard procedure is corporate law. So when directive policy and corporate law meet, you got to let the judge know that, hey, look, I am inserting my constitutional rights these days, because it's all corporate law.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you look up in Taylor Ordinance, I think it's 48, 185, and you'll see the MCL that it's written. So you got the directive policy, right, which is constitutional law, and then you have the local ordinance, which is operating standard procedure, that copy and paste that basically.
Yeah.
But what they did was on the Taylor site, they added on turf to fit one/sidewalk. Okay, on turf, sidewalk/on turf, right? But that's not in the directive policy, nor their operating standard procedure, which is directive policy again, which would be constitutional law and then corporate law. It's not in there, because and when you're questioning these people, you put them under oath. You ask them, are you a legislator? Can you make laws? Can you change laws? No. The only thing you can do is narrow them. You can narrow them. You can enforce them a little more strict. You cannot widen them. You can't expand. It can't be broadly. That's what Houston v. Hill was won on, because they literally broadened the law on obstruction, and that is why my speech is protected, because I kept on inserting, I'm in a constitutionally protected activity. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Let's see if they respect my rights. And I am fronting off their mannerisms, which is the way he was doing his job, which was he continued to violate the law while enforcing the law. You guys already know all that. I'm just.
It's just crazy.
It ain't gonna stop either.
No.
Until other people come to par and come together. We at least 20 or 30 people from each community need to step up and do class actions together.
Yeah.
And that'll stop.
Well, see, and that's what sucks, because I know that money is just coming out of me and yours pockets, but they should lose their qualifying immunity. When they violate somebody's rights, when they knowingly do it, it should not come out of the city's pocket or the taxpayer's pocket. It should come out of their pocket. We should be attached to their pension or whatever. And at that point, they will learn. They'll double guess their actions, But it's just.
I just wish that these people that call themselves the good guys, I wish they would start acting good. And proving that they are good and that they are worthy, because most of them aren't. They're just not. And I'm not saying it to pick on them. I'm not trying to belittle them. I do not want to belittle police officers.
No.
Everybody knows that I've actually changed a little bit of my attitude on purpose, because I don't want to be seen as anti-cop. And if anybody is anti-cop, I tell them to unsubscribe to me, because you're not going to get along with me. You're not going to make me hate that person because of his badge. But you will get my attention if you point out tyrannical and arbitrary behavior. I will redress the F out of them. You understand? Flat out, point blank. That's just all there is to it. And that's the way every auditor or / journalist, whatever you want to call yourself out there, recording these guys should be doing.
Totally agree.
All right, man. Well, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you. I'm going to bounce out of here. You guys have a great night, everybody. Gloria, I love you. James, The rest of y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you,
Getting-
Wolverine, for stopping by.
I see you, bud. Bye.
Thank you. All right, guys. I see that there's 7 people still in the chat. Do you guys want me to show some videos that I was watching earlier, or do you want to call it a night? I'll leave it up to you guys. Put 1 if you guys want me to continue, 2 if you want to just end it for the night. Let's try to see some videos here real quick. Saw a really good one from San Joaquin today. I don't know if you guys seen this video yet. Let me try to get it up here yet. Let's see here. Let's see here. This might be it. No, this isn't. Oh, come on. I can't find the video, guys. I think I'm gonna end it. I'm getting pretty tired. I have to be o'clock in the morning. So hold on. I have to be up pretty early. I gotta work this week, and my mother-in-law just had a stroke. What was that? Friday evening. So it's been a long, stressful weekend. So she's doing better though, but she's going to be going to the nursing home for rehab. So hopefully she'll recover. Hopefully, but she's doing better. So, but I think I'm going to cut it off for the night. Like I said, I'm getting pretty tired. So, if you guys like what I'm doing here, hopefully you guys will join me for another chat sometime. Thanks, Gloria. Yeah, you want to hear the story real quick? My mother-in-law lives with us. We kind of take care of her, and I went to bed that night about 11 o'clock at night, and I have a cat, Winter. She's a Maine Coon, and next thing I know, I'm sleeping, and I hear the cat meowing and jumping on the door, and it woke me up. Well, once it woke me up, I heard Mom downstairs moaning, and I got up and opened the door, and Winter ran down the steps to Mom and was circling around her. And I was like, what's going on? And I looked at her and I was like, oh my God, she's having a stroke. And we called 911, and, the ambulance came, and they ended up having a care flight her to Toledo. And thank God we caught it in time. But my cat, believe it or not, probably saved her life. And people can say what they want to say about cats. I love my cats. I have several cats. Believe it or not, they all are Maine Coon cats, which I have a male, and he's almost 30 pounds now. He's huge, but I'm not going to talk more about my cats. But you guys have a good night, and thank you for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys later on the next one. Thank you.